about the UK is that if you don't keep yourself updated with immigration policies, you find yourself wanting. One moment we have shortage occupation list, another moment we have immigration salary list. Now we have temporary shortage list, and it comes with so many things. Big changes are here for the UK skilled worker visa. So if you're a migrant or an expiring migrant living or working in the UK, these changes could affect you. These changes could actually decide whether you're able to switch jobs. They could actually decide whether you can stay, and they could actually decide whether you can bring your family. The new temporary shortage list is about to shape who gets sponsored and who cannot get sponsorship, who can bring family and who cannot bring family. It's crazy, and I'm going to break everything down to the easiest form for you to understand. So if you're interested, guys, stay tuned. So hi guys, now early this year, somewhere around May, the UK government launched what we call the white paper. They named it Restoring Control Over Immigration Systems, right? And in the white paper, they brought out so many changes. The popular two, let me say, were increasing the salary threshold for skilled worker visas and increasing the skills threshold for skilled worker visas. The first major statement of change that was published on the 1st July is concerning the salary threshold for skilled workers, okay? So now there's been a change to the salary threshold and there's been a change to the skills threshold. Now let me talk about the first thing, which is the salary threshold, okay? So now they are raising the salary threshold from 22nd of July 2025, okay? What does this mean? Currently, to be able to come to the UK on a skilled worker visa, your employer, your UK employer, should be willing to pay you as much as £38,700 in a year. Now they're saying that cost of living has gone up, prices of things have increased, salaries have increased, so they also need to increase the salary threshold, okay? And now they are increasing it to £41,700 in a year. And these effects came into effect from 22nd of July 2025. Now, before 22nd of July 2025, if you wanted to come to the UK on a skilled worker visa, you wanted to get a job, you know, with an employer in the UK, they would give you visa sponsorship and then you come. You only needed, let's say, from a level 3 RQF level, okay, in terms of your educational qualification. Now, what do I mean? I'll list the RQF levels on the screen so you know. So let's start from 1. Okay, so RQF level 1 is GCSE grades 3 to 1 or D to G foundation diploma. Okay, so that is elementary administrative rules. That's what you can do. And then level 2 is GCSE grade 9 to 4 or A to C intermediate apprenticeship. So you can become like a retail assistant, warehouse operative on that. Then they have RQF level 3, which is the A levels advanced apprenticeship. You can become like a laboratory technician, a chef, a care home manager even. Then we have the RQF level 4, which is HNC or higher apprenticeship. You can become like a network administrator, a retail manager. Then we have RQF level 5, which is an HND or foundation degree. That one you can actually become an electrical technician, IT solutions architect, and all of that. Then now we come to level 6, which now is the basic requirement for skilled worker visa. Now that's a bachelor's degree or a graduate diploma. Okay, and you can actually work in skills like software developer, civil engineer, teacher, all of that. The jobs are not exhaustive, okay, under the various levels. There are more. This is just an example, okay. And then we come to level 7, which is actually a master's degree or a postgraduate diploma that you can become like something like a finance director, senior solicitor, consultant, etc. Then they have number 8, which is a PhD doctorate, okay, and that you can obviously become like a university professor, chief scientific officer, and all of that. So that explains the RQF levels, okay? So before July 2025, if you wanted to come to the UK on a skilled worker visa, you could come with, let's say, your A levels, or let's say it's equivalent, like let's say a WASI certificate or something. You do not need a diploma, you do not need a degree, a foundation degree, you do not need none of that. You could actually come with your A levels or an advanced apprenticeship qualification, and then you could actually get a skilled worker visa. So far as you've gotten an employer who has given you visa sponsorship, you could actually come, right? There's so many people in the UK on skilled worker visas who don't have degree, they only have a diploma. But unfortunately, from 22nd of July 2025, they said that no, now they are increasing the skills threshold. Now you have to be at an RQF level 6 before you can get a skilled worker visa. Hold on. RQF level 6 is basically a bachelor's degree. So now they're trying to say that if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you cannot come to the UK on a skilled worker visa. But wait, they thought about it and they realized that if they do that, it'll come back to bite them in the back. So what did they do? They introduced what we call a temporary shortage list. Now, like the name says, it's actually temporal, and I'll come to that later. But what does this mean? This means that although now you need a bachelor's degree to get a skilled worker visa, if your job is on this temporary shortage list, you don't have to have a degree. You can still come. However, you still have to meet the salary threshold, unlike the immigration salary list. With the temporary shortage list, if your job is on there, you can still get a UK employer who can give you sponsorship to come, even if you don't have a bachelor's degree. However, you still have to meet the salary threshold of £41,700 a year. So if you are a WASI holder, right, if you only have your WASI or a diploma or certificate, okay, and you get a job in the UK, the employer is willing to give you sponsorship and they're willing to pay you this amount. Even if you don't have a degree, you can come. But there are some restrictions and there are some things you should take note of. Okay, now
this is how much I made as a Band 5 emergency department nurse in the UK in the month of December 2024. Mind you, I worked on Christmas Day. I did 6 hours on Christmas Day. I did 6 hours on the 26th. I did 4 night shifts in the month of December. And basically, averagely, I worked 3 days each week in the month of December. And each shift is about 12 hours. So just do the multiplication and see the number of hours I worked in the month of December to end this. In the same month of December, I was able to film one video for my YouTube channel, and this is how much YouTube paid me for the month of December. It took me just about 3 or 4 hours to film that video. You see why, regardless of what you do in life, you should have a side hustle. The issue for me is that with nursing, if I don't go to work, I won't get paid. However, with YouTube, although this video did not get many views, I still earn from my old videos. If you're looking to start a YouTube channel, I have over 180,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have been on YouTube for a while now. Now I know the tips, I know the tricks, and I have a guide to help you through your YouTube journey. So if you're looking to have a side hustle, especially a YouTube channel, and you need some guide, DM you a link to my YouTube online course that you can access. And the amazing thing is that this course is on sale for this month, okay? And on this course, I featured the great YouTubers, and I'll DM you a link to access my YouTube online course to start your YouTube journey now.
Which jobs are on this temporary shortage list? Let's have a look. So as you can see on the screen, these are the jobs on the temporary shortage list. There are quite a number of them. Let me see some of them that catch my eye. Okay, let me just have a look. I'm seeing managers in logistics. I'm seeing engineering technicians, lab technicians. I'm seeing IT operations technicians. I'm seeing data analysts. Does that sound familiar? That is 3544. That's the code, data analyst. So those that are sleeping on 10 analytics, that you don't want to go into tech, this could be your only way of coming to the UK. By the way, if you want to go into tech, if you want to do a data analyst course in 2025, I recommend 10 analytics, and I'll leave their details below. So I see business sales executives. I see, well, so many of them. So guys, that is, if you are in any of these professions, even if you don't have a degree, you can still come to the UK. So far as you get a job in the UK, and the employer is willing to pay you $41,700. But there are some important limits that are worth mentioning. Okay, so first of all, no dependents for the new skilled worker migrants. If you are coming on a temporary shortage list, you cannot bring your dependents. But if you're already on a skilled worker visa, prior to all of this, and you have your dependents, or you are yet to bring your dependents, you can still bring your dependents. But those that are coming after 22nd of July 2025, for the very first time, they're now getting a skilled worker visa, you cannot bring your dependents if you're coming under the temporary shortage list. Another major limit that is worth mentioning is that it's temporary, just like the name says. Apparently, the government is planning that by 31st of December 2026, they're going to review it and remove lots of rules from it. And maybe they might not even keep it. Or they are even saying that if there are compliance issues, just like the way the care visa was abused, they might actually cut this off. If they say that people are finding loopholes in the system and then bringing people in illegally and all of that, they can actually, before 31st December 2026, even stop it. So it's temporal. They are planning to review it 31st December 2026, and you cannot bring your dependents if you're coming on a temporary shortage list. Another thing is that the Migration Advisory Committee is saying that by October 2025, they would review it for the very first time, and then they would update us on anything. If there are some that are supposed to even leave the list before, the 31st December 2026. So the difference between this and the immigration salary list is that the immigration salary list, it gives you sort of like a relief in terms of the salary you are getting. Even if you do not meet the threshold, you can still come. Nurses are on the immigration immigration salary list and other professions, I will leave the immigration salary list on the screen and scroll it slowly so you can see it, or you can even pause it so you can see it. And then these people can bring their dependents. But on the temporary shortage list, because your qualification is below RQF level 6, probably between RQF level 3 and level 5, you are not going to be able to bring your dependents, and you should still meet the salary threshold of 41,700 a year, and it's temporal. So what does this mean? This means that if you are in any of these professions and you're dreaming of coming to the UK, you should act now, because the list will change. It can change as early as October 2025 or December 2026. So you should act now. You should take advantage of this and act now, guys. Act now. So basically, for those that were confused and asking me to explain exactly what the temporary shortage list is, this is it, okay? And there are so many jobs on there, but for me, the one that I'm sure will give you 41,700 is a data analyst job, and those that are IT related. And I can see that there's also financial and accounting technicians. Those sectors pay a lot, okay? So you can actually get into that. And if you want to go into tech, or if you want to go into IT, I would include how to join, and I will include my 10 Analytics WhatsApp community link in the description, so you can click on it and start your journey into going into tech or becoming a data analyst or more. Because at this point, and remember, you don't need to have a degree to be able to get a data analyst job to come to the UK. It's even clear, you understand? They are saying that you can come to the UK under the temporary shortage list even if you do not have a bachelor's degree and you get a job under any of these and you get visa sponsorship, you can still come. So basically, guys, that's that. The UK is doing all of this just so that not loads of people will be qualified to come to the UK. They are controlling the immigration system. They are reducing the number of people that are coming into their country. And before you get scared and you start texting so many things in the comment section, remember that if you're already in the UK and you do not have a bachelor's degree and you're on a skilled worker visa, you can bring your family. Okay, if at the time that you got your visa you could bring your dependents, yes, you can still bring a dependent. This is for new entrants. The word is new entrants. I hope you understand. Leave all your questions in the comment section below. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye.